Greetings and salutations. If I look pretty bad, I'm not feeling my best at the moment. I'm sorry. But we're back to talking about more episodes of Farscape with the episode Locket and the Ugly Truth. Let's look at the episode Locket first. And if at any point it seems like edits seem kind of like, wait, what the heck is going on? I'm trying to, not have an entire video of me coughing. I apologize in advance. So, what happened in the episode? A spatial to non-monstrance, Aeryn and John for decades on a planet. I gotta say, taking the idea, if this was just a original thing, it wasn't connected to Farscape, my god, this would have been this is a perfect episode of Farscape. In that, I know sometimes in Farscape, they'll have, episodes where, say, hey, we gotta have an antagonist, and all that, whereas this one was just, in a way, there is an issue. In that Aeryn, she has aged for many yarns.
There's no other way off the planet. No! I only came back to warn you to get out of the mist as soon as possible while you still can.
Aeryn,
no.
Stop it, you.
And, he has to, and then he ends up staying on the same planet for her around the same time. So, they both age, and I'm gonna be honest, say the entire episode, even though we don't see, hey, them kissing and, say, lovey-dovey and all that, this feels like a true, a romance episode, in that both of the characters, they're older, and that, say, Aeryn, she has a granddaughter.
Crichton. He was happy for a few cycles there too. Something must have reminded him, like you, of his past. I still think about it sometimes, Moya.
You've never been as sad as him.
Well, perhaps I hide it better.
And John is still at times seeing Scorpius in his head, and it's just to everyone else is just saying that weird old man yelling at the empty space. And if I could compare it to anything else, and how say, if you want say anything that makes you cry, Up. And that the other members of the crew, Dargo, Zan, and Chiana, and Rigel, they're all trying to get them back, and they have to wait so many yarns, and eventually they're able to get back onto the ship. But I gotta say that the fact that they're able to eventually get out of there, it's still a beautiful story. I really love this. It was so good. It's kind of say an episode of say, hey, how do you want to live your life? Do you want to be happy, surrounded with others, or or something like that? I thought it was a good episode. It was so beautiful, I thought. I'm being very dramatic. I apologize. It was so good. So, let's look at the next episode, which is called The Ugly Truth. So, in this episode, a meeting with Trace goes badly, and the crew of Moya are put on trial to determine who was responsible for the disaster. The punishment, execution. Basically the whole idea for this episode is the film, Rashomon. And the film was by Akira Kurosawa. Let me check, make sure that's all legit. Yep. and that was done by Akira Kurosawa in the 1950s. So what this episode is, like, each character is having to, in a way, give their perspective of how the, like, disaster or whatever happened. Because Grace is trying to say, hey, Talon, he is kind of becoming not willing to listen to others, and I think I should get rid of his laser cannon and replace it with a weapon that's not as, dangerous, to give, like, say, someone, like, a warning shot, and it's not just, kaboom, kaboom. And so, and I gotta say, the character of Stark showed up again. He appeared in the previous episode, and the actor for him, he does a wonderful job, and, like, every character is trying to say, hey, I saw this, I saw that, but in a way, the story ends with all the aliens just saying, hey, we want to know how this happened, and the alien creature effects, they're really good for this episode, I feel.
The executions will begin immediately.
And so, one thing that leads to another is Stark, he ends up, sacrificing himself and saying, hey, it was me. And I gotta say, his bit of sacrifice, where he's just like saying, hey, here's my mask, Zan, to remember me. It was so, I feel like his character is sort of like, say, it reminds me of the Phantom of the Opera, in that, part of his face is partially got, like, this energy stuff going on in it. But it was so good. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional, but I thought both episodes were very good. The running crew for these episodes both get 2 thumbs up. Oh, I'm very tired. I'm sorry. See you later.